Troublesome since 96. You were shook when Reeves and know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a, here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my, strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm in deep cover, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so.
An NFC Championship game rematch. It's the coach. You're watching Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Last January, it was Case Keenum versus Nick Foles. Today, it's Kirk Cousins versus Carson Wentz as the Minnesota Vikings head to Philly to take on the Eagles. I'll have stats and scores around the league at halftime, but first, let's send it out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia working their way out there, led by Carson Wentz. And through 4 weeks of the season, Philly at 2-2. Tough loss last week in overtime to Tennessee. Now, Wentz was pretty good. 2 touchdowns, no picks, Charles. But if you look at the offense collectively, they've had some issues.
They have, and you mentioned the word efficient. He was able to hit Zach Ertz, his tight end, a bunch of times that game. He had a big-time performance against Tennessee. But out wide is where the struggle is because Mike Wallace is hurt. He's out for the season. He's their deep threat. Alshon Jeffrey had his first game action this week against Tennessee. He had been out with a shoulder injury. The running backs are dinged up. Not the same consistent unit that they had last year. Everyone trying to get in sync.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
Back after offseason rotator cuff surgery is Alshon Jeffrey, who played with the injury all of 2017 and still caught 57 passes for 787 yards and 9 touchdowns. What makes him special? Not just his size, but his athleticism, which was on display, and a brilliant catch for the first touchdown of Super Bowl 52, and also on display throughout the entire playoff run.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, quarterback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
As Minnesota comes back onto the field, let's take a peek, Charles, at what they've done so far this year. 1-2-1, a tough Week 5 matchup at Philly. Yeah, this was a team that many thought could be the best in the league. Not the start that their fans envisioned.
Yeah, not the start.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, he's just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
Listen to me.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Back to the ground, Cook. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Hey, we're good.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Getting set for the next drive, the tight end, Zach Ertz. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 15 carries, 70 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
On play action, it's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Now Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Well, while we have a second, wanted to touch on a new program that's making its debut that's got a lot of people excited, Charles. It's the Madden 99 Club. Now, what that is, gives special recognition to those guys with an overall rating of 99. Of course, that's as good as it gets. So through a partnership with our friends at Nike, you're going to see custom one-of-a-kind gold 99 Club cleats and gloves reserved for guys like Antonio Brown, Gronk, and Luke Kuechly.
And you and I were fortunate enough to get an early sneak peek at them. And I'll tell you, for my money, really cool thing that they're doing. Sharp, sharp look. And how cool will it be for those guys?
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Chris Long in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Cousins now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Jordan Hicks coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Play action. Now Wentz. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Wentz, screen pass to Sproles. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Wentz now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Ertz over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the 2nd round. And he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
Again, it's Wentz. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the half, Cousins. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. 31-10 was the final score. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. The rookie, Josh Rosen, has a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. Seth Roberts, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Second down, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Well, CD, a quick look back at Week 4 in the NFL. Not good for rookie QBs. They went 0 for 4. You had Rosen and Mayfield making their first starts. Both close loss.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go.
Now it's a Giant. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go. Luigi!
Now Wentz on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Cousins now. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%. Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On third and long, it's Wentz. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. That was third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, we're good.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradley. turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Sherrills. And they're running right through it. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Cousins now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Cousins. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. Hey, 382, list 50. Hey, we're good, we're good.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Vikings, they pick up their 2nd win now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.